I'm loving the way my makeup looks today. I feel like I look so well put together and sane, you know? I was afraid it was gonna be bad, but it's not bad. So I did not upload last week, and that wasn't really a surprise to me because I figured that there was maybe a chance that I would, but I kind of knew that was also unrealistic. I actually deserve this because of what I've been through this past week. I'm having one right now for this video. I'm having another one for when I play Marvel Rivals later, because I haven't tried doing that while I feel a little silly, and I think that'll be funny. So, let me tell you a story. I went to the dentist one day, as one does, and the dentist took an x-ray, as they do, and the dentist said, hey, you need to get your wisdom teeth out. You know, they're coming out, we can refer you, and, you know, it'll be good for your body, your mouth, whatever. And so you're like, okay, I got the referral, let me go get my wisdom teeth out. So you go to your parents, and you go, so they said I have my wisdom teeth, and they're kind of coming out. And they're a little sore sometimes, so do you think I can get my wisdom teeth out? And your parents, of course, they do the normal thing, and they look at you, and they go, no. I'm like, what do you mean, no? And the thing is that the reason why my parents said no is because in India, especially, so many people get their wisdom teeth out when they're 30s, 40s, 50s. But at the end of the day, it really just depends on your body. But my parents just thought it was the American healthcare system trying to force me to get my wisdom teeth out before I needed to. And that was 2.5 years ago. The dentist told me to get my wisdom teeth out 2.5 years ago. I get back from vacation the end of December, and I'm like, dude, I've had this jaw pain for a week and it is not going away. And my parents were like, wait, it might be your wisdom teeth. And I was like, oh, really? You think so? Huh? Guys, who said I should get my wisdom teeth out? Who said I should get my wisdom teeth out 2 years ago? So I call the oral surgeon, and I'm like, hey guys, my shirts, please let me in. And then they go, well, your referral's over a year old, so we're not gonna take it. So we think it's simple, right? We were like, okay, so you just, you go to the same dentist again, and, you ask them, hey, can you guys do that, scan again and, double check so that we can just go back to the surgeon. My dentist office closed down, a year after that scan. So that wasn't an option. I also didn't have a dentist at all. So, so we speed ran finding a dentist. Luckily, I am Indian, and we know lots of Indian people, and the Indian people, they are doctors. So we found a doctor. She was super nice, and she was like, so your pain probably itself isn't coming from your wisdom tooth, it's probably coming from your jaw. So you just be munching and crunching in your sleep, apparently. Which apparently has been running in my family. Oh my god, Jeffro, stop sending me messages. I'm literally, how do I put this on Do Not Disturb? That's the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. So I go to the dentist, she refers me, she's like, yeah, so all 4 of your wisdom teeth are impacted. Your pain is because of grinding, but you better get those out because they're about to touch the nerve that's down there. So there's a nerve kind of right here. So what happens is if your wisdom tooth is too close to that nerve, it'll start poking it, and that's where the pain comes from. So both my bottom teeth are dangerously close to there. So she was like, all right, you gotta at some point within the next 6 months, you gotta go. So then a week after I went to the cat cafe, I went to get my wisdom teeth out. And it was crazy because I think technically it's my first major surgery. It's a lot of people's first major surgery. Dude, this is great for recording. I should just drink all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing can go wrong. So I went originally for a consultation. They were like, yeah, they're all pretty close. So we can do one of 2 things, right? So they said, we'll take your top teeth out for sure. That's totally fine. By the way, none of them are poking out. They're all like under there. So they have to like dig them out basically. They were like, okay, so we can do two things, right? We can either dig all 4 of them out, or we can dig the top 2 out, and then the bottom 2, since they're so close to the nerve and you don't want that to even like bump into the nerve because that's gonna hurt, what we can do is you can just open it up, shave them down, and then like kind of cover it up. And usually those like roots, like the weird like bottom part of the teeth, like they won't come up again. Obviously we were leaning towards the second option because it's a lot less intrusive and a lot less close to those nerves that were so close to my teeth. And then we looked at like the bill, right? It was so interesting because I feel like I've never walked into a doctor's office and there's a person that comes up to you that's like, let's talk financials. Like that's literally what they said. They said, let's talk financials. Like that's so American. It's okay, you know what else is American? Drinking beer on a Monday night. Am I right, fellas? Go Eagles. Spoken like a true mid-Atlantic dweller. So they're like, all right, let's talk financials. You know, let's talk about it. And they like, you know, I feel like they do it so casually because they're so like desensitized and like almost like used to it. Because obviously they're oral surgeons, so they do wisdom teeth like literally all the time. So they came up to us and they're like, okay, so your insurance covers every single time we have to do an extraction, like a full extraction. So if I got all 4 of my teeth out, it was free. You know, we have really good insurance. It worked out. I'm really lucky. Or we can do the top 2, bottom 2 thing. In which case, the bottom 2, each one was gonna be $550. Dude, I looked at them and I was like, dude, take them out. Take them out. I don't care. I get ready, get kind of all my things sorted. I had to come back from my apartment to my parents' house on that Wednesday because I was getting my teeth out. On Thursday, I went to the doctor's office and they have to do like kind of like all the major surgery things, right? So they have to like hook you up. They have to make sure you're like breathing. So they put like oxygen on your finger and like, you know, all the little like electricity things on like your chest and stuff. Actually I ripped most of it off like today actually. But literally until today, I still had the stickies from like when they put the IV in my arm too. I sat there waiting for like half an hour because the doctor was busy, which would have been fine. I feel like I'm really good at like just awaiting my doom. Usually like when something big's about to happen, I kind of just like sit there and I'm like, okay, fair enough. But the sound of the heart monitor was like actually so much fun. I couldn't do it, dude. It was so annoying. I literally like sat there. I took a video of it. But it was actually like so loud that I was like, guys, please guys. I can't. Oh my god, it was so loud. And I just sat there for like half an hour. And then I also hate when like you're looking at your heart rate and you're like, guys, I don't want it to go up because I don't want the people outside the office thinking I'm like scared. And then it goes up and you're like, I'm not scared. I'm just looking at the heart like I'm just looking at it. I'm not, guys, I promise I'm not scared. It feels like so private. Like it's like explaining your feelings and you're like, guys, don't listen to it. So eventually they come in and they're like, all right, guys, it's like gas time. And I was like, oh gosh. It was like it felt like it looked like a torture device. Like it was like this little like bulb, right? And they put it like right. They don't put it on your mouth. It doesn't even go in your mouth. Like it's not like an inhaler thing. It's like a bulb that goes over just your nose, and then it's like straps all the way back. She put it on, and like before it even hits me, I'm just laughing because I just think it's funny. I do that all the time when I'm at the doctor's office and I feel like they're doing something weird. Like I just start laughing. And they're like, oh my god, you're so giggly. And I'm like, no, this is just a weird situation that I'm experiencing. And I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't like had a full like pap smear or whatever at a gynecologist ever either. But I feel like one day I'm going to be at the gynecologist. I'm going to spread my legs open and I'm just going to start dying laughing. I'm just imagining that. Like, it's just like a random person. And they be like, come spread your legs open. And they're like, all right, it's time to look. Anyways. So, you know, I have this medieval torture device strapped on me. And it like starts really slowly. Like it starts like, you feel it in like your fingers and like your like toes first, where it's like a little tickle, which is why I think it's called laughing gas. Because it feels very tickly. And then she waits for the doctor to come in, and I like remember them like opening my mouth and that sort of thing, like the first part of it. And then I kind of remember like things in between. I know I was really moving my tongue around. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I definitely should not have been doing that. But, like, wherever they were, like, putting their fingers and, like, doing stuff, like, I could hear, like, drills every once in a while here and there. like because I was like fading in and out of consciousness. I feel like I would literally like know where their fingers are, and I'd be like, and the doctor every once in a while, like while I was sleeping, he'd be like, please hold still, we're almost done, we're almost. I literally remember I was making the sound too. I was like, because I feel like I remember too that I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I feel the need to do this. I don't know. So it was over. I wake up. I actually woke up pretty quickly. Like, I think it only took me like 2 or 3 minutes for me to wake up as soon as I finished. I remember like him saying like all done, like when, you know, they were like packing everything up. So like I must have already been like coming out of it a little bit. So, you know, I sit up, I get up, and then I see my parents, and I feel funny. So I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at the situation again. My parents were like, stop laughing, you're gonna rip your teeth open. Because they stitch it up, right? They stitch everything closed. So my parents are like, stop laughing. And I'm just looking at them and going, and then I kept getting sad that they were telling me to stop. So at one point, right before the doctor comes in, I don't even like cry. I just shed like a single tear like down my cheek, like this. The doctor comes in, he's like, dude, are you okay? With just like the single dramatic tear rolling down my cheek. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. You know, like he shows my parents the stitches. He's like, this is like the medicine regimen you guys have to do, like blah, blah, blah. And then we get ready to go back home. So on the way home, I was like, I want a milkshake. So I did that until like I got a milkshake. Got one of those like Frill ones. I don't know if you guys know those. They're like so good. So I got like a mint one, and I was like sitting in the back eating that. I couldn't feel like this much of my jaw pretty much. It was like pretty numb, and then my tongue was also numb. And so typically, like if you guys have never like felt that before, it feels like your like whole jaw is just big. So I just kept saying that to my mom. I was like, my mouth is so big, and my parents were agreeing with everything I said. Like literally, there was never a time where they were like, "Oh, you're like, you know, you're not like in the right." They were just like, "Yeah." Like I was like, at one point, I was like, I want to put my face in the snow, like completely, like seriously, and they were like, "Okay." They were like, "Whatever you want, queen." So I got my milkshake. I was eating it on the way home, and since my mouth was like so numb, I literally just kept missing my mouth. Like I would just go, and then I kept like dripping it all over myself. And my mom kept like yelling at me. She was like, stop dripping it on yourself. And then I did the thing again where I shed like a single tear because I was like, no, I can't. And you know, that cycle continued until we got home, of me being just completely out of it until about later in that day. Also, I told my parents to record like videos of me if I was being funny at all, and they just didn't do that. Like I told them like multiple times over the previous week. I think they were just like concerned about me, you know, getting back from surgery and like making sure I'm like not in pain or whatever. But don't worry, guys, I'm super content pilled, and right before I took a nap when I got home, I took the liberty of doing it for y'all because I love y'all.
Lip fella. Oh, smart fella, smart fella. My butt hurt all morning. Thankfully, I got no holes to kiss. I wanna kiss you, but I miss you, man. Who closed the door?
Yeah, in the beginning I was having a great time. So I get back and I immediately like pass out, like I fall asleep for like a solid couple hours. I wake up and my parents were freaking out because the people at the office were supposed to send my pain meds like right after I got out. They did not do that. So they got my meds and they started, you know, giving them to me. At the time, at the beginning, I really just did not feel anything because it was so numb still. Like I literally just couldn't even feel like anything in my mouth at all. Remember the dentist when he came in to like tell my parents like what to do and stuff? He was like, yeah, like she's gonna be a little loopy for a while. Like it's just the ketamine, you know? Like, you know, when people take ketamine. This guy gave me ketamine. He dropped it so casually. My parents were like, oh. I took a nap. I woke up and I felt like a lot more normal. And then the next few days, pain started. I was huge. I was like literally like this. Like I could hold my face like this if I wanted to. That's how big my face was. I mean I expected it, but it just feels weird to see it on yourself, you know, when you like do that for the first time or whatever. So I was like, okay. I really didn't feel any pain until my parents like started spreading out my pain meds, which is like, I get that you're supposed to do it a little bit. Like I get it's bad for you if you take pain meds like every 3 hours, like all the time. But I was like, guys, please, I can't do this. So I literally spent just like the entire weekend and like the next few days just like crying. I cried a lot. This is for everyone who's like, you didn't upload a video. Lock in. You want me to lock in like this, pal? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Now you feel bad. Now you feel bad. My diet over the first few days was kind of applesauce, jello, soup, you know, the stuff that you expect. It took me a really long time to kind of get up to regular foods, like longer than they wrote on our info sheet, which is why we were like kind of concerned. Because I really was not eating solid food for like the first like 5 or 6 days. Like I started eating solid food like 3 days ago. Because like the doctor said, this tooth was a lot harder to get out. And in general, my teeth historically have been very strong, where the dentist had to drill so much just to get my tooth out that it was just like it was very like distinct on this side. But yeah, I suffered through the days, did the time, I worked the entire time. And it was so sweet because one of my coworkers was like helping me with something already that I like just didn't know how to do. And I was sitting there like, dude, my face hurts. I've been going through it. I tried to stay off pain meds. I was able to stay off pain meds for like 36 hours until like today, where I was working and I was like, my brain is not working. Like nothing is happening. Like I need it. And I think my parents were like mainly concerned that I'm just gonna get like addicted to ibuprofen. Obviously, no addiction is cool. But me personally, I don't know. I don't feel like I would see myself getting addicted to something like that. So I was just like, give it to me, my jars. But yeah, I went to the doctor today. He said it's healing fine. I was a little concerned because I feel like my healing has been a little slower than kind of what it speculates like on the info sheet they gave us. But he said everything was looking fine. But yeah, in conclusion, I am still in pain. I am going to go play Marvel Rivals and drink another one of these. And before you guys are like, Stella, don't drink in your house alone. I'm not alone. You guys are here, so. It got in my eye. Is that bad for you? Is it bad if alcohol gets in your eye? It doesn't feel that bad, but I'm wearing contacts. If you guys want to see more silliness, you can follow me on other platforms where I am pretty active. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you later. Bye-bye. I can't open my mouth as wide as I usually do for this.